Hello everyone, welcome to Science class. I Geeta Jain, Science teacher of class 7, is here with revision questions of chapter 7. Very short answer type question. What are the major parts of plants? The major parts of a plant are stem, root, leaves and flowers. How many kinds of plants are there? There are majorly three kinds of plants: herbs, shrubs, and trees. Name two plants that are belong to herbs. The common examples are tomato and grass. Give two examples of shrubs. Two examples of shrubs are lemon and rose. To which plants do we categorize in the category of shrub? The plants which are not heighted, that means they are medium sized plants. The stem is hard but not very thick, and all the branches of the plant arise from the base of the stem. Give two examples of trees. You have to write the examples of the trees. You can write any example. Here I have written mango and neem. Define petiole. If you would have seen the structure of the leaf, the part of the leaf by which it is attached to the stem is known as petiole. Yes, at the time of making you understand the structure of the leaf, I have explained you about the petiole. Yes, petiole, if you could see, this is the leaf, okay, and in this leaf the stalk like this, from which the leaf is connected to the stem. Yes, this part is known as petiole. Clear everyone? Yes, this part is known as petiole. Yes. The next question which has been given to us here is, what is lamina? The broad green flayed part of the leaf is called lamina. If you see the structure of the leaf, yes, wait, leaf, yes, the leaf structure is something like this, and this is the stalk from which the leaf is connected to the stem. This is known as petiole. Then yes, the green flayed surface of the leaf which you see over here is known as your lamina. The next question, two questions which are already there. What are veins and what is midrib? Let me explain you the midrib. The main thick vein present at the center of the leaf is known as your midrib. Yes, a thick vein in the middle of the leaf is called midrib, and from the midrib the several veins are coming. Yes, you would have seen in the leaves. Yes, this way the several veins are coming. These lines are known as your veins. Clear everyone? I think now the structure of the leaf is clear to all of you. Clear? This way, this all the veins are coming out in the on the surface of the lamina. So this is a petiole. The broad green part, the flayed surface of the leaf is known as lamina. The thick vein present at the center of the leaf is known as midrib, and from the midrib the various thin lines are coming out. Those are known as veins. What is leaf venation? The design made by veins in a leaf is called leaf venation. Yes, but all the designs which are made by these veins on the surface of the leaf is known as our leaf venation. How many types of leaf venation are there? There are two types of leaf venation, reticulate venation and the parallel venation. In the reticulate venation, the main midrib is there, and from that the several veins are coming, and those veins are making a wave-like structure on the surface of the leaf. You can see over here. I'm just showing you one example. This is your reticulate venation. But parallel venation, if I talk about, the veins are parallel to each other. They are not crossing each other. They are not making a wave-like structure. They are not crossing each other. That venation is known as parallel venation. What is transpiration? The process by which water comes out from the leaves in the form of vapor is called transpiration. Yes, what all the vapor which is being evaporated from the surface of the leaf through stomata, that process is known as transpiration. Name the process by which leaves can prepare their food. Yes, that process is known as photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which green leaves prepare their food in the presence of sunlight with the help of water, carbon dioxide, and the minerals. What are the raw materials for photosynthesis? Okay, just now we had discussed. Photosynthesis, the raw materials are sunlight, needed water, carbon dioxide, and chlorophyll. Yes, the green color of the leaf which we see is just because of the presence of chlorophyll. Where does the photosynthesis take place in plants? Okay, the photosynthesis process take place in the leaves, but in sometimes the plants like cactus, where the leaves are absent, the photosynthesis process take place in the stem. Name the part of the plant which helps in holding the plant. Yes, the holding in the soil. The plants are held in the soil by the help of roots. Roots help the plant to stand erect. Name the types of roots. Only the figures are being given and you have to identify which types of roots are there. So very easily you can identify. If it is like a bushes like that, all the roots are coming all together, then it is a fibrous root. And if the one main root is there and from that the another roots are coming out of it, then we say that it is a taproot. So the very easily you can identify in the taproot the main root is there, while in the fibrous root all the roots are coming from the base of the stem. There is no main root present in them. What are taproots? The roots in which one root is a main root and the other lateral roots grow on it are called taproots. Give names of two plants which have taproot. Okay, easily the plants which have reticulate venation in the leaves, those plants will have the taproot, or we can say the dicotyledon seeds they have, that means they may have the taproots. So the examples are gram and mustard. Name two plants which have fibrous root. Again, the plants which have parallel venation and the monocotyledon seeds are there, then in those plants they will always have fibrous root. The examples are wheat and maize. What are lateral roots? The smaller roots that grow on the main taproot are called lateral roots. Just now we have seen. Yes, this is your main root, and from that main root the small roots are coming out of it. Yes, though these roots are known as your lateral roots. Clear? What are fibrous roots? The roots which do not have any main root but all the roots are similar in size are called fibrous root. Name the prominent parts of a flower. The prominent parts of a flower are petals, sepals, stamens, and pistil. Name the various parts of a stamen. There are the two various parts of the stamen, anther and the filament. What is pistil? The innermost part of the flower is called pistil, and these are the female part of the flower, while the stamens are the male part of the flower. Pistil is consists of the three main parts known as stigma, style and ovary. Short answer type questions. What are sepals? What are their functions? The small green color leaf-like structure are called sepals, and it protects flower when it is in the stage of bud. What are petals? The colored big leaf-like structure present in flowers are called petals, and petals are colored to attract insects for pollination. What is pollination? Transferring of pollen grains from one flower to another, or we can say from the anther to stigma. What are stamens? They are the male parts of the flower, consist of filament and anther. You can see here in the picture. Yes, this is the filament of the stamen, and this is swollen part is known as anther of the stamen. Draw and label the various parts of the pistil. Yes, there are three parts of the pistil. Stigma, just now I said, style and the ovary. The uppermost portion of the pistil is known as stigma. The part which connects stigma to the ovary is known as your style, and the swollen part of the pistil is known as ovary. Write difference between herbs, shrubs and trees. We have very in detail we have done about that. Herbs, the plants with green and tender stem. The first difference that the herbs have green and tender stem, while the shrubs have a hard but not very thick stem, while in the trees they are very tall and have hard and thick brown stems. Clear? So first difference, they have green and tender stem. They have stem, but they have a hard stem but not very thick stem. And the trees, they have a hard and a thick brown stem. Trees, another difference, they are usually short and may have or no or less branches. They are usually short and generally they do not have branches. If the branches are present, then they are also very less in number. While in the shrubs have the stems, plants are of the medium sized and they have the branching out near the base only. From the base only, all the branches start coming out of it. While in the trees, the stems have branches in the upper part of the much above from the ground. The examples of the herbs are grass and tomato, while the examples of the shrubs are lemon and the rose plants, while the example of the trees are mango and the neem. Write difference between climbers and creepers. The plants that take support of neighboring structure. This thing you have to remember, that the plants that take the support of the neighboring structure and climb up, they are called climbers. Even they have weak stem. Creepers, even the creepers have the weak stem, but they cannot stand upright and just spread on the ground, are called creepers. The examples of the climbers are grapes, money plant and the beans, while the examples of the creepers are watermelon and the pumpkin. Explain the main functions of leaf. That what are the various functions which are performed by the leaf. The various functions are, the first function that is transpiration, the other function photosynthesis, and the third function respiration. Transpiration, where the extra water which is present in the leaves is being transported in the form of vapor, is known as transpiration. Photosynthesis, the process by which leaves prepare their food from water and carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight and a green color substance. What is a green color substance? Chlorophyll. Yes, it's called photosynthesis. Respiration, that means breathing in and out, exchange of gases. Differentiate between taproots and fibrous roots. Taproot has only one main and long root, and the smaller roots that grow from the main roots are called lateral roots. To support it, even you can draw the diagram of the taproot which we have already drawn in our classwork notebook, and in my detailed explanation of the chapter we have already drawn the structure of the taproot. Taproot goes deep into the soil, and taproots are found in the plants which have reticulate venation in their leaves. Fibrous roots do not have a main root, and all roots seem similar. The major difference is, even to support it, you can draw the diagram of taproot and fibrous root to explain or to express your views in a better manner. They do not go deep into the soil. They are found in the plants which have parallel venation in the leaves. Explain the important functions of the root. What does the roots do for the plant? The following are the functions of root. They help to absorb water from the soil. The roots help in the holding the plant firmly in the soil, and they prevent soil erosion. The another very important question over here, write an activity to show that the stain conducts water. To show that the stain conducts water, the aim, that means why we are doing this activity. So first we have to write the aim, to show that the stain helps in conduction of water. What all the things do we need to perform this experiment? We need a glass, we need threading, we need a blade, a plant branch having flowers with white petals. Why we are taking white petals? As we can see the color easily. Whatever the color change which has taken place, we can easily see it. Procedure, that means what method you will do. You will take a branch of a plant with a white flowers. Yes, wash it and cut the base of the stem. Dip the lower end of the cut stem in a bottle containing water to which few drops of red ink has been added. Yes, you have to take a glass, put that branch in that, take water and add few drops of red color to it. Leave the plant undisturbed for few hours. Clear, this we have done. Now what will happen after a few hours? You will go and observe. You will see that what happened it. You will observe that the color of the flower changes from white to red. You will observe that the color of the flower is being changed. So how it happened? So what you have concluded it? What you get the result out of it? This shows that the stem conducts water from the roots to the different parts of the plants. It helps in transportation of water and mineral salts absorbed by the roots to different parts of the plants. What do you mean by leaf venation? Explain various type of leaf venation with example. Leaf venation, again, the design made by veins in a leaf is called leaf venation. There are two types of leaf venation, reticulate venation and the parallel venation. If the designs of the veins make a net-like structure on the both the sides of the midrib, then it is called a reticulate venation. And examples are mango leaf, gram leaf. Parallel venation, if the veins are parallel to each other or to midrib, then such type of venation is called parallel venation. For example, wheat leaf, barley leaf. Generally the monocot plant seeds, the plants which bear monocot seeds have the parallel venation. Explain the structure of a typical flower with the help of a diagram. Yes, we have to draw a diagram of a flower and then explain the various parts as we all know about it. Stalk, the part by which flower is attached to the branch, is known as a stalk, this part. Okay. Sepals, the green leaf-like structure of the flower. This green leaf-like part of the flowers are called sepals. Petals, the big colored leaf-like structure, yes, the most attractive part of the flower. These are known as petals. Okay, the group of sepals is known as calyx, while the group of petals is known as corolla. Stamen, it is the male part of the flower. It has two parts, filament and the anther. You can see over here. Pistil, the innermost part of a flower is called pistil. It has three parts, stigma, style and the ovary, and it is a female part of the flower. You can see over here, this is your pistil, consists of stigma, style and the ovary, and inside the ovary the ovules are found. This is the ovary. After fertilization it converts into the fruits and these ovules converts into the seeds. Explain the structure of a leaf with the help of a label diagram. Okay, here you have to explain the structure of the leaf and you have to draw a diagram of a leaf. It is the petiole. It is the stalk that connects a leaf to the stem of the plant. Leaf base. It is the lowermost part of a leaf which is closest to the petiole. Leaf blade or lamina. It is a thin flat part of the leaf that is typically green in color. It is further divided into three parts. Leaf apex. The tip of the leaf is known as leaf apex. Leaf margin, the edge of the leaf, and the leaf veins, the small channels or the capillaries which are further subdivided into venules. You can see over here. These are the veins. Thank you and keep learning.